Good morning, Facebook family and YouTube subscribers. Today is Thursday, January the 23rd of 2014. It's freezing cold outside. It's about 30 degrees. Really cold. This last few days have been really cold, windy here in Atlanta. Here in Atlanta, we get winters that are sometimes mild, but January tends to be the coldest month of the year, in which you would need a coat and jacket, but you might not need a scarf and gloves or hats. But my head is bald, so lately I've been wearing a little skull cap when I leave the house because it's been windy and I'm getting older, so I'm going to make sure I don't end up in the hospital with pneumonia. So, yesterday I made some chili. Put it in a crock pot. I made some delicious chili. I try to cook. I don't cook too often, but yesterday I was kind of feeling some chili, so I got home. I got up early in the morning, went to Kroger, got some turkey, ground turkey, and some other ingredients, mixed it all together, threw it in a crock pot, and created this delicious chili that was cooking most of the day while I went to the gym and ran some other errands. On the way home from the gym, I needed to stop by the grocery store to get some Jiffy cornbread mix because I realized that when I got back home to make the chili, I didn't have any. So I'm leaving the gym about 6 o'clock. And the sun is going down kind of early here in Atlanta, around 6. And we live in East Atlanta, which is an area of Atlanta that's going through gentrification. You have a lot of whites, and you have a lot of white people moving into this area, renovating the houses, fixing them up. In fact, we're renting an apartment over here because we wanted to test out the area to see if we really liked it over here before we purchased a home over here. And amazingly, all of our neighbors are also renting these apartments and have moved in after us, are all white people. So you got a lot of white people moving to this area. But at the same time, you got a lot of poverty-stricken African Americans who live here in this neighborhood. You have a couple apartment complexes of Section 8 and government housing that are just horrible, horrible conditions, and the people are really poor. So you have a couple of those apartments around here. I would say we have probably about 10, 15, maybe 20 apartment complexes in East Atlanta where they need to be torn down or renovated and replaced with some type of new housing, which will possibly happen over the next 10 years. I think in 10 years, East Atlanta will be a beautiful neighborhood of wealthy white folks like they did in Kirkwood, in Eastlake, and Old Fourth Ward. They're going to run these black folks on the out of here, which is what they're doing now. But anyway, I jump off the highway. I'm trying to get to Kroger's. And I said, well, I'm going to go to Family Dollar instead. Because I figured Family Dollar should have some Jiffy cornbread mix. So I get up to the corner of Fayetteville Road and Flat Shoals Road. And I'm sitting there at the light. And I see this lady. A black lady with 3 little boys. It's around 6 o'clock because I left the gym at 6. So it's somewhere between 6 and 6:30. The sun is going down. It's really dark outside. And she has these 3 boys up there with no jackets on. They're just standing there with pants on and long sleeve shirts. Now I'm looking, thinking it's freezing out there because I have a jacket. When I left the gym, I put my jacket on, put my hoodie on, put my skull cap on. I was thinking, wow, this woman does not have any. Why doesn't she have coats for these boys standing there? And you can tell they were standing there shivering, cold, waiting for the bus. They're standing up there waiting for the bus. She's standing right outside of the Family Dollar store. So I see these kids standing there, and I'm thinking, why didn't this woman have coats for these kids? Why didn't they have coats on? I know when she walked up the street from that apartment complex they live at, didn't she realize that she needed coats for these little kids? Maybe she should have went back home. So in my mind, I'm thinking, they must not have any coats. And I see this frequently over in this area, these kids walking around here, no coats, no jackets, not prepared for the weather conditions. And it's rough for these little kids. And I've seen some horrible, horrible stuff over here in East Atlanta. Stuff that I forgot about because we lived in Buckhead for a long period of time. But living up in Buckhead, I tend to have forgotten about the poverty that exists here in Atlanta in our African American neighborhoods. These people are really struggling and having a very difficult time. Anyway, I parked my car, and they're right in front of my car. So I get out the car and I said, I just said, okay, let me ask her. So I walked up and said, do you have coats for these kids? She's like, I didn't realize it was this cold out here. But no, I didn't have any coats for them. And I'm like, okay. So I'm looking at the little kids sitting there. They looking at me, and I'm thinking they need coats. The wind is blowing. It's cold out here. She's waiting on the bus. And I was thinking, well, maybe I can run her where she needs to go so she can get where she needs to go. Or maybe I need to take her someplace else so that she can, Vegas. I just started this video. What do you want? What? Give me a few minutes. I'll let you go outside, okay? Just a few minutes. Thank you. So anyway, the lady, I'm sitting there talking with her, and it's freezing cold. I'm freezing. I'm thinking, damn, I just left this coat in this gym. I'm sitting up here with these kids. So I said, okay, let me go into this Family Dollar and see if they have some coats. They should be cheap. Right here at Family Dollar. I walk in there, I look around, and sure enough, I found some little coats for the kids. So I went back out of the store. I said, look, I saw some coats in there. Do you mind if I buy them some jackets? She said, oh, you would buy them some jackets? Thank you. Oh, thank you. So I said, okay. Went back inside, got the coats. Coats was cheap, $10 each. Then they were on sale. Bought the little coats. And the store manager saw what I was doing. She gave me another discount off the coats. I didn't mind buying these coats for these kids. I'd rather these kids have a nice, warm coat before they end up sick or whatever. It's freezing outside. Why is this woman... I don't understand African American women. I don't understand African American women. They have these children. They cannot afford to feed them. They cannot afford to put clothes on their backs. They don't have a car to transport them around town. They're catching MARTA. But back to, so anyway, I give them the coats. We snatching the tags off. The boys are putting on coats. They all like, thank you. They're so happy and everything. They got new coats and stuff. These are little kids under the age of 5. It broke my heart. In my wallet. That was the last little bit of money I had. I was supposed to went towards my gas tank. But I got some money, so I'm not financially hurting. I did not mind buying those coats for those kids. But I see this so often. I'd have to buy thousands of coats all up and down Boulder Crest roads for these kids. What is going on with these African American children, women? What's wrong with these African American women who have these children? They can't afford them. Where was her husband? Boyfriend? Baby daddies? What? I saw one couple one night arguing at the gas station across from Family Dollar. And she was cussing him out. The 2 kids were standing there crying. She was telling his man sat there with dreadlocks on his head, Jordans on his feet, cussing him out because she needed stuff for her 2 kids. Just right across from Family Dollar. I've seen some tragic stuff taking place in this area over here. And I just shake my head because I just say, okay, why are they having all these children nobody can afford to take care of? And there's a lot of children in this area. A lot of them poor. These parents don't have anything. They don't have a car. They barely can feed them. Can't put clothes on their backs. Can't take care of them. These kids are growing up in poverty like you would not believe. Right here in Atlanta. A lot of us, either we don't see it or we don't want to see it, or we drive by it and we don't want to see it. We have blinders on. And it's a tragic situation. And it's happening too often. When you got 70% of African American women dumb enough to have a child without a husband, without a man that's committing himself to taking care of her and those children. These little boys I gave those coats to, they were the cutest little kids you ever saw. They needed some haircuts too. Kids are expensive. These women having these kids think that they can take care of them. How? No job, no income, no transportation. What are they thinking? They're not thinking. African American women have got to be the dumbest women on planet Earth. There's no way in hell I'm going to lay up next to some man, have his kids, and he cannot provide and take care of these children. Why would I allow such a thing to happen? Why would I want my children to be born into poverty? I have to live in poverty. We got to live in poverty because now I got to figure out how I'm going to daycare, clothing, shoes, food, housing, no education. When does the cycle of poverty and despair end in our communities? Black women got to wake up and stop having these kids by these worthless men who cannot do nothing for them. And there's these children. They got to hold out until they can find somebody who's prepared and mentally ready to financially take care of kids. Sometimes that means waiting for not having children at 16, 17, 18, 19 years of age, waiting until you 28, 29, 30, 30 plus years of age, when you got an education or some type of job or something that you can offer these kids you bring into this world. The poverty I see over here, and it makes you wonder, all the white folks are moving in here and they see this poverty too because they talk about it all the time. The crime rate is still high. These teenagers are breaking into these houses, stealing all these white folks' stuff, stealing their plasma TVs. So the white folks are hiring private security guards. They're doing what they need to do to try to change the neighborhood. I get it. The complex we live in, they got so much security is over here unreal. I've never lived someplace where you got 10 security guards with guns walking around. We got gates, big cameras up, big security buses. It's just, this place is huge. But they got to keep the hood rats out because they know it's dangerous over here. That's why the crime rate is so high over here. These little kids grow up, they have nothing. So they don't have no choice to go out and steal it. They don't know where else to go get it. Where are they going to get a job at 13, 14, 12? These kids at 10 to 15 years of age, that's when they start committing crimes. Sometimes younger than that. We got to wake up. This is a tragic problem. When I drive up and down Fayetteville and Boulder Crest Road and Flat Shoals Road, when I go to that Walmart up there on Gresham Road, it is a sight to see. The sight, the poverty I see in the kids and the women struggling, it's just, I don't know what to say. I know it's sad. And we have to do something to get the message across. These women don't have children you can't afford. Don't lay up with Tyrone and let him knock you up and let him run away and not take care of these kids. Make Tyrone marry your ass. Make Tyrone get a job. Then you all have children that you are both committed to taking care of. Doesn't that make more sense? Anyway, this video is way longer than what I wanted it to be. But it's tragic and it breaks my heart, the stuff that I see taking place over here in East Atlanta, all over Atlanta. South DeKalb County has got it bad. A lot of poverty in South DeKalb County. They say South DeKalb County is the second richest African American county in the nation. I'm thinking, we asses are doomed then. All the poverty and despair I see every day in South DeKalb County is sad. Anyway, if you like my videos, please click like. Give me some feedback. Why are these women having these children they cannot afford? I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. If you like my videos, please click like. Give me some feedback on today's topic. And I am out of here. You know what I got to go do? Cook breakfast. And I'm headed to the gym. You guys have a great day. Bye.